Don't worry, doll. I'll take care of you. Please don't. I weakly whined, trying to stop him, but I had no courage. It was getting hard to even move my body, and that's how everything happened against my will. Everything became blurry. Vine woke up in an unfamiliar space. She opened her eyes, staring at the ceiling. Her eyes filled up with tears. She wasn't making any sound, but her soul was breaking apart. Not knowing, a sob escaped her dry lips. My head, it hurts. I woke up with a heavy headache. I sat up holding my head. I felt a presence beside me. Who are you? An unfamiliar girl was lying beside me. She turned around and started crying. Hey, can I ask you what we are doing here together? I looked at myself inside the blanket. I wanted it to be a dream, but it wasn't. I hesitantly placed a hand on her arm, but she flinched hard. I'm sorry. I silently sat there, waiting for her to calm down. After some time, she calmed down. You didn't stop. I started sobbing again. It was the most terrible of my life. What are you saying? What do you mean? I looked at her confused, anxious, and afraid to be more exact. What if I? Why didn't you stop? One said while holding the comforter tightly on her and yelled at him. Jungkook's eyes widened. What did I? I begged you to stop, but you didn't. I started crying hard, hiding my face in the comforter. Jungkook was still in shock. He was hating himself for doing something terrible. He wanted to jump off the window. He was ashamed of himself. Didn't you feel pity? I'm sorry. Do you think your story can fix anything? I'm sorry. Jungkook's eyes were also getting glossy. He looked down in guilt. Tears started falling from his eyes like a waterfall. I looked at him with tearful eyes. He wiped his face and looked at me. He immediately looked down after meeting my eyes. I know I can justify my actions, and sorry is not gonna turn back anything. But I'll do anything you ask. I'll take responsibility. What will I do? How are you gonna take responsibility? Will it really undo? I'll marry you. What? I'll marry you. I'll take your responsibility. And then you'll throw me in a corner of your life without caring about me, like a spoiled millionaire. I still feel goosebumps after remembering everything. It's like a nightmare. Tell me, how many lives have you? I started sobbing again. I swear I didn't. You are my first. I never did this with anyone. And I'm ashamed of my actions. I don't even remember how I got so much out of my senses that I became oblivious of my surroundings. It seems like an excuse, but it really was a mistake. I promise I'll take responsibility. Tell me what I should do. I sat in a kneeling position and looked down. Get out. Jungkook nodded immediately and walked out of the room. It was sweet. Wine covered her face and started crying hard. She almost choked on her sobs, while Jungkook was standing outside the room listening to her crying. He was also crying silently. He was feeling terrible. He wanted to himself for everything. How can I? How can I do that to someone? My throat was hurting from controlling my sob. After some time, she walked out of the room and walked toward the exit. Where are you going? I stopped and looked at him in disbelief. I mean, shouldn't we talk it out? What do you want to talk exactly? You want to marry me so you could, with the name of having rights? I looked down silently crying. I don't want to be with you. I want to forget everything, please. I'm sorry. It came out as a whisper. She turned around and walked out. I fell on my knees and started crying. I calmed myself and called my secretary. I need you to check something for me. Boss, what happened to your voice? Just do what I'm telling you. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know what you wanted to do with that. I'm sorry, sir. So you, sir, which are highly this easily. Sorry, sir. Please forgive me. I'm poor. I needed money. Leave him, Secretary Park. We have to deal with someone. Look who we have here. Mr. John, what a pleasant surprise. It won't be pleasant anymore after what I have to ask and say to you. She stood up from her seat and walked toward me, standing in front of me. What is it? Do you really want to know? She had this weird expression as if she was mocking me. Mr. John, please be clear. What did you do with my drink? Mr. John, please leave her. You are going to become the president of John Enterprises. Don't make the situation more messy. Jungkook left her with a jerk. I'm giving you a last chance, speak up or it won't be a good for you. She was scared, I could see. Why did you reject me then? You know I like you, so. Shut up. You like me or the fact that I'm here of the Korea's richest enterprise. Gold digger. I very well know what kind of papers you wanted me to sign and why you wanted to get in my. Fine, I did it. Why you were not agreeing to 50% revenue then? And I really like you, that's why I was cut off by a harsh. I never hate women, but you are an exception. Why would I agree to 50% revenue when I'm investing my money and you are just giving your workers? And I know very well what your motives were. I'm canceling my project with you. No, you can't. Who'll work with us if you cancel the deal with us? You'll suffer a loss too. I know very well that no one will be willing to work with you after cancellation of this project. And do you think this small project will affect me? Do you know who had to go through the loss because of your ill intentions? She flinched when I growled, Mr. John. Shut up, Park. I walked outside of the CEO office. All the employees were looking at me. What? Employees who were already trembling after seeing his anger flinched and started doing their work. Jungkook angrily walked out. Let's see who'll suffer more. She dialed someone's number. Now's the time. Who did this? Mr. John, don't worry. We are trying to take down the video and articles. I need you to find the one behind this. Understand? Yes, sir. Jungkook closed his eyes trying to calm down. I'm sorry, Secretary Park. I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm just... It's fine, Jungkook. I've been working for your dad and for you for years now. I saw you growing up. I know how well mannered you are. It's just everything's so messed up. Don't worry, everything will be fine. How? I don't know what I should do now, Uncle. He hugged me and started sobbing. Both her and my life are destroyed now. Nothing happened. Can't you see, Mr. Park? Our faces are so clear. We can't get out of this. I'm worried about her. Jungkook saw the footage where he was. He then opened the door and stumbled inside with her. He felt something suspicious in the video but ignored it. Sir, we couldn't find where this girl lived, but I got to know where she works. Also, we took down all the articles and currently monitoring everything. Give me her address of her workplace. Jagu reached the destination but saw a little crowd in front of the building. He parked the car and got out of it. He walked through the crowd and his heart broke. You had the audacity to come here. That too with who? Richest table here? I know, right? Even if the article said he. But can you believe it? He's a well-mannered and gentleman bachelor. Yeah, why would he do that? That too with someone so poor, pathetic, and ugly. She acted all pure and innocent. Who knew she would be a... Shut up if you don't want your head to be cracked in two pieces. Oh, hello, mister. Who are you? You look rich. You'll regret it. I opened my phone and recorded a video of their faces. I called my secretary. Report them for defamation. He's acting like he's some chaebol. Are you John Jungkook or a cheap copy of John Jungkook? Everyone started laughing. Jungkook, who was wearing a mask all the time, took it off. Everyone gasped. Yes, I am John Jungkook, CEO of John Enterprises. What were you saying? Everyone got shocked. We were just teaching her a lesson. She tried to ruin your perfect image. She's a... Why are you stuttering now? And who are you to teach anyone a lesson? And who said I'm perfect? You look more of a by your dressing than her, who wears such clothes in the office. If it was me, I would never hire such illiterate people. She looked down. I looked toward her, who was looking down all the time, silently crying. But she tried to ruin your image. She must have. She made someone post an article that you... Whatever I said is true, and she did nothing. Everyone looked at me, unsure about what I mean. I was about to speak further, but she stopped me while tugging on my hand. She slowly stood up. I wanted to help her as she was having difficulty, but I wasn't sure if I should her or not. He is my fiancé. Jungkook's eyes widened in shock. Nonsense. I know you rejected so many boys in the office acting like you have high standards, but that doesn't mean you'll spat nonsense. I know, right? He's out of your league. You're not his standard. How low will you go? That too just for money. Shut up before I slit your... She's right. She's my fiancée. I placed my hand on her shoulder, but she flinched, which only I noticed. I removed my hand. We are getting married in a few days. Everyone was in shock, and if I ever saw you bully someone like this, I swear you won't like the consequences. Remember that. Although he was hesitant, he held her hand and walked toward his car. He made her sit on a passenger seat and drove somewhere. I took a deep breath, not knowing how to start a conversation. How did you know I worked here? Of course you'll know. Um, Stop it if you are going to ask for forgiveness. He stopped and looked down. Drop me near the bus station. Thanks for rescuing me, but you didn't have to come here. I had to take responsibility for my actions and don't take responsibility. Did I ask you? He immediately looked down when I looked at him. I sighed. Drop me near the station. Are we really going to get married? Are you crazy? Then why did you? Because of your actions. Can't you think before what you do? You were about to admit that you. But it's true, I did. Then what's wrong with admitting it? You can. It'll destroy your whole life and career. What about you? Your life and career is also destroyed. My eyes were getting glossy. She too was crying silently. Why did you stop me from speaking the truth? Why are you caring about my life and career but not yours? Why did you say you're my fiancé? I felt guilty. I looked down trying to hide my face but could not. What do you mean? What did you do? I'm at fault.